They didn't come to not get help. Your clients didn't come to not get help. So listening to them and asking those questions, it's easy. Welcome to the Spinoso Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Spinoso, and my expertise is in building all types of medical businesses to 7, 8, and 9 figures, and hopefully achieving multiple exits with those. I'm not telling you you should do this. I'm telling you how I did this, and I hope that helps you level up your home life, your relationships, and your entrepreneurship journey. So let's get into it. Today, I have, as always, Miss Amanda May wearing the all black today. I like that. Sleek, fast, quick, like Catwoman.
Super fast.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And we're going to talk about one thing that is huge in the Genesis culture and what we do. It's one of our core values and perhaps the most important core value. And I love hammering people over the head with this. It is customer service.
Yeah, I mean, really, customer service is a 24/7 thing. It's not about a role or a department or a title. This is really something that applies in every aspect of the business and also in your life, because relationships are the key to success and making sure you're creating real value for the people that are coming into your business using your services or looking to you for your expertise. And so, yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. This will be a really good conversation about how you can implement better customer service in your organization. Um, and something I know you've always said is that customer service, no matter what the title, is a part of the responsibility of everyone. And with that, why do you think it's a mindset that is so important, especially among leaders?
Well, look, a lot of businesses don't realize that they are literally in the service industry. They are in the customer service industry. Genesis is in the customer service industry right now. It doesn't manufacture its own products. It doesn't create its own products. It takes other people's products, whether that's medications, whether that's machinery, whether that's Botox or fillers, things like that, and then it delivers that service. So we are in the service industry, and customer service is a huge part of what brings people in the doors and keeps people coming back. If we had the worst customer service, we wouldn't have a fucking business at all, because somebody could go get the same treatments at another location. So the way we've set things up, where the packages that we do, the way we talk about the treatments, the way we provide the treatments, all those are proprietary and different to Genesis, but the treatments themselves, their base raw form, people can get anywhere and at multiple different prices. We're not the cheapest and we're not the most expensive, but we're definitely a higher level and a higher quality service. And that's what we are. That's just what we've settled into. And realizing that from a business owner standpoint is that anybody that's walking into your building in the medical field can essentially get what you're doing anywhere else, especially if you're doing med spa stuff or if you're doing weight loss stuff nowadays or hormone stuff. They can get your service almost anywhere because clinics are popping up left and right. So you have to make sure that you are delivering over the top customer service to keep them coming, to keep them returning, and so that they enjoy being there and working with you and want to come back and want to refer people. Because if you don't, you're not going to have a business, period. Customer service is at the core of everything that you need to do. It applies 24/7 to everything. Now, in other businesses that I own that are manufacturing, okay, yeah, I'm manufacturing, but I'm delivering those services to a clinic or to a client directly or to a customer or to a doctor directly. So all those services are what's called B2B, business to business. My customer service needs to be different. It's not to the end user. It's not to the client that's coming in the door, the patient, as some of you might call them. We call them clients in Genesis, but it's being delivered to the clinic owner, the clinic director, the person who is taking that, again, manufactured product and delivering on the service. So your customer service needs to change to who your client is that you're delivering it to, but again, it needs to be 24/7. I had a great mentor, business mentor. His name is Dave Krosky. I've talked about him. He owns Laura Davidson, which is a furniture company. And he built that entire company off of one story of bad customer service. So he ordered a chair from off of Amazon, I think, and it got delivered from China. And it was missing like 2 screws or something like that. He tells the story. And he messaged them to get the screws replaced or to get extra screws, and they ignored him. And then he messaged him, and then they said, we can't help you. And he got so angry that he built a $60 million a year fucking business just to crush that company in building chairs. So his vengeance created this multi-8-figure company. And when I went to go visit his office, this is 4 years ago now, he had, and back then he was doing, I think, like 20 or 30 million, still a fucking massive business.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not huge. It's not $100 million a year. But at that time, he had like 6 full-time customer service people. That's all they did was customer service all day long. His responses, and I would test his website. Like if you go on there and do the chat, all the chat is real people. So I go in there, put all sorts of funky shit in there. And one time I remember I ordered a set of chairs for the offices, and I asked, like, can you put, like, in the comment section, it was like special questions or comment section, and I put, please put a picture of a dragon in one of the chairs. And so I had forgotten about it, like, because it was like I would always fuck with his team, so I'd totally forgotten about it. So I get my chairs, right, and I'm opening them, and I open up one of them, and one of them has this printed out picture of a dragon inside of it that they had printed out and put in the chair box. And I thought, man, that's fucking hilarious. Like, they're so over the top about customer service that even ridiculous things they do, because that's the level of customer service you need to have in your business.
I love that. Wow. How do you feel like you can reinforce this? Like if you're a leader and you want to reinforce this throughout your team and through the organization, like how do you reinforce the mindset of 24/7 customer service?
Living it. Like, customer service isn't just about handling the complaints or, answering the questions. You have to live it. It's habits are caught, not taught. So you could teach them until you're blue in the face and say all these things until you're blue in the face. And you've seen it where we talk on these meetings like 12 times and the team sometimes still doesn't hear it. But if you're doing it, if you're showing like, this is how we do it, this is what we need to do, this is how we provide that customer service to your clients, to your team, even the person who like delivers from UPS or FedEx, if you're consistently delivering high level interactions, high level customer service, then your team is going to see that and say, this is how we interact with people. Like these interactions, they should reflect your values. And if your value is customer service, then you should act in that way. You should act in a way that's always doing the right thing. Always make sure you're going above and beyond. Always make sure you're helping the client get to their end result. And every once in a while, there's going to be that really shitty client that no matter how good your customer service was, they're still going to give you a 1-star review. And you could try and change it and do everything you can, and they'll still be unhappy and whatever. Unhappy people are just unhappy people. But customer service is a mindset. You have to have that as a mindset. You have to walk in to your own clinics. And we tell our staff, walk into your own clinics and look at the floor, look at the walls, look at the ceiling, look at the front desk, look at how everything is presented. Look on top of the cabinetry in your rooms. Is there things just cluttered everywhere, or is it nice and neat? What does your signage look like? Are things clean? Are the right light bulbs in? Is there one light bulb that's out? Is there, the walls need to be scuffed and they need to be repainted. It's not just what the front desk person does. It's what everyone does and what everything looks like. Because if you have a really shitty, dilapidated clinic, and it doesn't have to be over the top gold sconces, but if you have a really shitty, dilapidated clinic and it smells gross and it's got 1980s carpet and people walk in, they're like, man, this place is a shithole. If they care this little about their presentation and how they look, then they must not really care about running a legitimate business. So whether you're the CEO or whether you're just the tech, or whether you're the front desk girl, or whether you're the clinic director, or whether you're the fucking janitor, every action you take has to deliver a message that customer service is one of your priorities. Always.
Yeah. It reminds me of the statement of like a restroom in a restaurant, like tells you how good or how much they care, and and like it's a reflection of the restaurant if the restroom's clean or not. It's like that level of customer service, like what you're talking about when you're in a clinic setting. It's like you want everything to be clean and organized and uncluttered and, you know, put together. So not like you have to have, a multi-million dollar build out, but what you do have is kept really well. That is a form of customer service. And I wanted to stop on that because I think that's important. It's not just about greeting somebody when they walk in the door, but the customer service aspect also includes what is their experience. And that has a broader touch than just the people. It's like, what's that customer journey once they walk in the door? And is that a positive experience? Because that also impacts their overall view of how well you did. And that is definitely a part of customer service. Um, and I think when it comes to treating people like a person too, not a number, like you really have to recognize like if somebody, what's the customer journey? And then let's say somebody's coming in for a consultation, you can't be seeing that person as a sale. Like it's not, yes, we know how much the average value of a customer is, but you can't see people as that. It's like you have to see them as people and connect with them as people so that they really truly feel valued and are like, because they're going to feel it. They're going to feel if they're just a number or if they're just the next sale, they're going to know that it's not truly about them and what's going to better their own life. And so, like, especially if you're in sales, just recognize that this is a human being. This is not just a number that is going to hit your bottom line. So what would you say is an example of really prioritizing the experience that somebody has and how that's made a difference in Genesis when we're talking about the customer experience and, seeing them as a person and not a number and, making them feel valued? What's
Well,
an example of that?
so you have what you talked about is extremely important. I want to actually touch on that before I give any examples. But there was Gary Vaynerchuk, great friend and mentor to one of my business mentors, Andy Frisella, and he says a mnemonic, and he says if you really want to get people to love your business, your clients to love your business, the most successful marketing strategy in the world is to fucking care. And so he uses care as his mnemonic. And it's true. So number one is character, like integrity, doing the right thing, being the go-to person. That's C. So character. A is attention. So giving your undivided attention to the person in front of you. Not only asking how you're doing, but getting the deeper answers. Remember details about them. So in Genesis, what we would do is ask details about their life or their family or who they love or what sports teams that they love, and their kids and stuff. And we'd write those things on the front of the charts. And now we try and write them in the electronic charts, so we remember things about the person. So attention, R is resources. So when you're consistently giving good resources, you become the guy or the girl. Then your clients start to know that, and that's one of the biggest things that I would say clinics that we have acquired or companies that we have acquired that have a owner operator that is really involved in the community do very well. Like we are a very digital based marketing company, but a lot of our companies that we've acquired and friends that we've acquired, they are grassroots. They maybe didn't have the money at the beginning to pay for marketing, so they were out in the community, talking with people, meeting people, showing people who they are. And when they did that, it creates an opportunity for them to be the guy or the girl, the
Mm,
solution to these people's problems. And like I said in the last call that we had, like when you become the guy or when you become the girl and you literally you're a connector of people. So if somebody came up to you and had a random question about where to buy tires, you'd say, "Oh, this person is the best person, or this company is the best person company to buy tires from." And then you may be a medical clinic, but that being said, you become that guy or that girl, they're going to trust you more
mm.
because you've always given them opportunities or you've always given them the right answers or better answers or the answers that they just need at that point. So that's the R is the resources. You solve other people's problems because once you do that, other people will become resourceful to you and they'll help you and they'll send
Mm.
people your way. And then E is extremism, which I like. So you'll always fall short of your super ultimate goals. So be absolutely extreme in your thoughts. Be absolutely extreme in everything you think about. Be unapologetically crazy about customer service, about your client, about everything you're doing because you're going to probably miss some of the goals that you try and achieve, and that's okay. But realize that it's like I want to save $100,000, and you end up with I don't know 87,000. And you're like, man, if I thought I want to save $250,000, would I have saved 200? Usually that's the case. Where if you have a ridiculous goal and you go towards that goal, you might be a little bit short. And there's that thing. Well, aim for the moon and you'll even if you don't reach it, you'll be amongst the stars. Most idiots don't realize stars are farther than the fucking moon are to the planet, or else we'd all burn to death. But you get the phrase, and what I mean by that, or what people mean, is that uh, go extreme with what you're thinking, go extreme with what you're trying to provide. And if you don't reach it, that's okay. You're still closer than where you were if you didn't start at all. And customer service is a huge part of that.
Yeah, that's so good. So then going back to the question on, what do you feel like an example of personalizing the experience for people? Like how do you see that being implemented like in your companies?
Well, really, in the medical field, and this is for the medical entrepreneurs that you guys are listening, you have to be different. You have to be personalized. There are those people that just want to go online and buy a bottle of medication and never see a person, never get any customer service, but that's not our system in Genesis. That's not what we do. It's very high touch. It's very one-on-one. It's very synchronous telehealth visits. We don't do asynchronous stuff. Everything is uh, that interaction. Everything is that personalization. And there is a huge difference between a Dooney and Burke purse and a Birkin purse in terms of style, in terms of brand, in terms of status, in terms of the cost, 100%. But obviously, Birkin's doing okay in their purses, and Dooney and Burke's doing okay in their purses. So decide which one you want to
Mm.
be, which direction you want to go in, and just realize that either way, your client needs to be number one. Your client needs to feel like they are a person. They are the main focus that you have. And it's not just, oh, here's just another Dooney and Burke purse. It's, hey, every person that comes in here, you're treated with respect. You're treated very well. You're delivered a package that is within your income profile and within your goals. And guess what? They'll trust you. They'll listen to you. And as they gain more money and improve in their lives, guess what? They're going to bring that back to you.
Mhm. Yeah. The customer service aspect, in order to really have someone feel valued, is you have to have listening skills. Like, it has to be your superpower.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like 100%
Yeah.
superpower in listening, because people tell you what's going to solve their problem. You don't ever have to sell anything. And as long as you're paying attention and then just delivering what they've expressed that they want, they're going to be happy. And then if you can go above and beyond that, even just a little bit by an add-on, that's something that we do in our clinics is sometimes add-ons and things like that. Um, like even adding an add-on or that, like you said, then even something free. It doesn't even have to cost anything. The next time they come in, mentioning their dog or their kid or whatever is going on in their life, you really take that listening skill to the next level. And I think this one could be harder than some things that you implement. Like, how do you teach people to listen?
I actually think this one's easier because I was
Okay.
taught something, and I want everybody to rephrase their thinking when or like rewire your thinking when it comes to medical sales. So let's say you're shopping for something at the local mall, Amanda, and you're walking into a store, and like one of the salesperson comes up to you and says, like, "Can I help you find something?" What do you usually say?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm good. I'm just looking, right?
Uh-huh.
Or if you're in a car dealership, oh, no, I'm good. I'm just looking. Even if you're in the car, even if you are in the looking for a certain dress or looking for a certain car, your reaction is always like, I'm good. I don't need your help, sort of thing, right? Right
Yeah.
away. It's just an
Yeah.
instinctual thing because you're like, fuck, this person's going to sell me something, even though you were there to buy something in the first place. You don't want to be sold. Period.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that in medicine, when people come in and you ask them, what can I do for you today? Or is there something I can help you with? That's just part of the process. That's part of the medical history. So people are used to going to doctors and telling everything. Like, right?
Yeah.
I'm sick. I don't feel like this. I feel like crap. Hey, I spent the weekend in Las Vegas and picked up gonorrhea. Like all the, like they'll just say whatever the fuck is, that they're there for, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no like, no, I'm just looking.
Huh.
No, like my penis is burning, it's on fire, I need medicine. Like they'll say anything because they want their problem solved. And it's the same in medical sales, where you're in a medical spa or in your service medical industry like Genesis. People come in with a problem and they will tell you everything about their problem. So when you ask the question, like, what can I do for you today? Or what can I help you with? Obviously, you already know because they booked a consultation for that specific thing, but they will spill the beans on everything. And now it's just a fact finding. Okay, how long have you been dealing with this? What have you worked with before? What has worked? What hasn't worked? What did you like about those things? What didn't you like? What is your ultimate goal? Why do you want to do this so bad now? Why didn't you want to do it so bad in the past? Like those are never off limit questions in medical sales. And when you ask those questions and you're curious and you're inquisitive and then you shut the fuck up and you listen, just like you said, they'll tell you all their problems, and then you can use all those problems to create a package that is personal to them and that shows that you listened to them
Mm.
100%. But that's the great thing, is that people are used to telling their medical provider everything, no matter what. So even if I was out and somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, I see you're here for weight," let's say I'm out somewhere and they say, "Oh, I see you're out, I see you're here for, you know, uh buying, I don't know, buying shorts or buying the suit. I see you're here buying a suit." Like, does your wife support you buying the suit? Like, what about do you have kids? Do your kids support you buying the suit? Like, what kind of suits could you afford? Like, those are all questions that you'd be like, what the fuck, dude? But when you put that in the medical sense,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here to lose weight. Hey, what about your spouse? Do they support you? Does your husband or wife support you losing weight? Are they eating right? What about your kids? Do you have kids? Like, do you snack with them? How old are your kids? Like, those are all questions that you could be prying, in maybe an outside world that's not medical, but in the medical world, those are completely open-ended questions that you would be able to answer. I mean, you come in for, let's just take the most crazy example. You come in for like female sexual health. I mean, if I saw you and you were buying a car, I wouldn't be like, well, how is it down there? Are you dry? Like, are you having issues with vaginal penetration? Like, if you were out buying a car and the car salesman started asking those questions, you'd be like, what the fuck, bro?
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But women are coming into the clinic and those are questions that you ask, and they're used to it. Like, they didn't come to not get help. Your clients didn't come to not get help. So listening to them and asking those questions, it's easy. Again, it might be hard because, again, I think that's what you're getting at, where people aren't used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're on the medical side and or you're on the sales side, or you're doing anything in a medical clinic, it's very different, because those, again, wouldn't be questions you would ask a random woman on the street, a random dude on the street, prying questions about their family, their history, their medications, things like that. But at the same time, you have to remember that that's the position that you're in now. If you're running a medical clinic, like, all those questions are essentially off limits because you need to know. And when you know those questions, guess what? You can come up with a more personalized, better tailored approach to that client by simply just asking questions and listening.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head when you said curiosity. Like, how do you teach someone to listen? They have to be curious.
Absolutely.
So you teach them how to have curiosity. And with that comes a lot of great questions, because curiosity, it's like, that's where questions come from. Like, I'm curious, like, why is that? How does that work? What does that mean for you? Like, so I've said this before, is I've heard the quote, the quality of the answers you get is directly reflected to the quality of the questions you ask. So I guess teaching listening would be teaching how to be curious and how to ask really valuable questions.
100%.
And then you can really listen.
Yeah. Exactly. You're exactly right. Like, listening is your superpower. Listening is what allows you to earn trust. Listening is what gets you to the next level and create a exact program that you need to for each client. Just listen. And when you listen, they'll tell you everything you need to know. 100%.
One of the exercises I like to do, and I do this very, like, quickly in life, like, it's just a natural for me at this point, is create connection between myself and the person. So one of the ways I can step into curiosity very quickly is telling myself a few things. Just like me, this person is seeking some happiness for his or her life. Just like me, this person has known sadness, loneliness, and despair. Just like me, this person
That's good.
is learning about life. So, like, there's nothing going on with you that I haven't felt. Like, I have felt all of the same things, maybe in different ways, but their feelings are all the same. And so recognizing that, like, there's no separation. There's, like, we're not different. We actually are a lot alike. And so that opens up, I think, a level of connection where it's like not provider or consultant client, but like it's person to person. It's human being to human being. And I think that creates a sense of value. Just that beingness alone creates a lot of value.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, if you want to teach your staff how to do this or how to have conversations, we use what's called the ACA Framework for conversations. And I've talked about this in a podcast prior, but it's ACA. So first off is acknowledge. Acknowledge, when somebody tells you something, you slow down. If you have to repeat it back to them, so I hear you saying, or showing that you're paying attention to them. So acknowledging. So I acknowledge that you just said that. And then compliment. So compliment them based off of what they told you. Obviously, because everybody loves a compliment. It helps them lower their guard. It helps make the chat nicer. They feel calm. And then ask a question specifically about that issue or that concern. So, for example, if somebody comes in and they say, well, I'm trying to lose more weight. I have started to exercise and run more. So you acknowledge, great, you've started to exercise and run more. Okay, that sounds good. Compliment them. Phenomenal job. That means you're really caring about your weight loss journey. You want to get involved. I like it. And then ask since you're already running and exercising, what do you feel is stopping you from achieving your weight loss goals then? And then shut up and just wait for them to respond,
Mm.
and they'll tell you. And so doing that ACA framework, you can teach your staff to do that over and over and over in a conversation. And you can do that over and over and over as in just small talk as well. You do the same thing in small talk. The best way to ace an interview and to ace small talk is to get the person who's interviewing you or get the person who's talking to you to talk about themselves the whole fucking time. Because once you do that, they're going to think the conversation was great because they're just the one talking and you're the one listening and showing that you are paying attention to them. They're going to be like, man, this person is phenomenal. I love this person, because people just love talking about them fucking selves. But that's okay. That's normal. So the more you can get somebody to do that and the more you can listen, the more you're going to succeed.